If you're thinking about selling your home, stop. I'm going to share with you the top 3 things you should do to your home before you even call your realtor. Stay tuned and I'll tell you my top 3 tips for getting the most money when selling your home. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can follow me and all my real estate tips. So my first tip seems very self-explanatory, but you need to pre-pack and declutter. You should be making donations to your favorite charities. You need to get all the extra items out of your house so that way the buyers can move in and visualize their furniture in your house. So my tip is anything smaller than a basketball. If you have a whole dresser full of tchotchkes, you gotta clear off all horizontal surfaces. So that's one, anything horizontal, clear it off. And then if you have like items that are maybe a tchotchke smaller than a basketball, I would also pre-pack that. Today's buyers really like a minimalistic view. They're all about the aesthetic. What's the aesthetic? It has a good aesthetic. They like bare windows, so take down all your window treatments because valances, while they were popular in the 90s, are kind of like eyebrows for windows. Like they don't play well, they don't look great in photos. So you want really clean window lines. You want very clean surfaces. So all those things to declutter, you have to do it. Buyers are going to look in your closets. They're going to look in your drawers. They might open a drawer to see if it's soft clothes. They're not spying, they're not stealing anything. But you want to make sure, like when they look under the sink, that they can see under the sink. So take your time and walk through room by room and see like what items do you have there that you don't need. I'm guaranteeing you you could remove probably 50% of every room and your house is still gonna look great. So you really need to be very critical about why you have the furniture or the items or the tchotchkes that you have it in your house. Maximalist is not going to help you sell your house. The next thing you need to do is clean. I'm talking white glove clean. Okay, this is probably not something you should do yourself. I would have a cleaning crew come in and clean the surfaces. I walk into houses even now and I'll see spider webs dangling from the ceiling or dust, which is a nice protective coat for fine furnishings. But the dustiness, the dirtiness, you have to make it clean. Buyers today want to walk in and know that you've taken care of your house and you're not selling them a project or a house that has years of deferred maintenance. So really go, after you've decluttered it, which was step 1, step 2 is to go in and do a really good deep clean. How does your oven look? I guarantee you they will open your oven door and buyers will be like, oh, that's really clean. Do they ever cook? Or they'll say, wow, that oven's disgusting. I feel like you're at one end of the spectrum or the other. So you're trying to sell this house. This is the largest financial purchase any buyer's going to make. So you want to give them a beautiful package. You don't walk into Bloomingdale's or Nordstrom's and expect to see cobwebs and dust. You expect it to look lovely. You're having an experience. You want your house to be so clean and so decluttered that the buyers know when they scroll through the photos that your house is going to move quickly. And when your house moves quickly, you get more buyers who put it at the top of the list to see, which means more money for you. So I hate to say it's all about cleanliness and decluttering, but I think that's like 90% of the work is to really take that time to pre-pack. Doesn't mean you have to donate things. You can pre-pack and then do a really good deep clean in your house. So those are tips 1 and 2. All right, I'm gonna give you one more bonus tip since we're working on the interior of the home. If you have really dramatic colors, I'm talking reds and dark oranges and spicy dark browns, maybe dark, like 80s green, although forest green's kind of popular, but you really need to neutralize the colors. You don't even have to have the most updated appliances. You don't need to have the most updated lights, but if it's a really neutral surface for the buyers, they appreciate that. So a lot of times when you remove art from the walls or you're moving things around, you're pulling furniture out, it's scuffed the walls. It's worth your money to have a painter come in and really neutralize the walls of the home. You can do light tan colors. I don't think grays play that well anymore. I just love a good creamy white, a good light tan, maybe a light greige on the walls. I can give you suggestions if you want. You come in and just really neutralize. I was at a lovely house today, a huge house, but she had kind of a 90s vibe. There was like sponge painting in some of the rooms. That doesn't help your house sell. So that was my advice to her is to go through and really, like, any wall that has like a faux finish, like sponge paint or a marble look, you should knock that down, and that should also be neutralized with a nice cream color throughout the house. My final tip is to really start at the outside of the house and take a look at it. How is your curb appeal? Is your front door kind of cracked and looking tired? Do you have fresh mulch down? Are the weeds gone? Are your bushes trimmed? Do you have peeling paint or chipping paint anywhere? Because that's going to impact an FHA or VA loan. So you really need to make sure the exterior of your home is buttoned up. So look at, do you want to add some fresh mums for the fall or some flowers if it's springtime? You have to be critical of your home. So you need to look around and look outside. Start at the mailbox. How does that look? Is it falling over? It's time to replace it. How does your driveway look? If you're in a part of the country that has asphalt driveways, I think I recommend seal coating more than anything else. A fresh seal coat of black looks great for photos, so time to seal coat your asphalt driveway. How does it look when your walkway coming up? Are your edges of your beds cleared? Do you have nice landscaping? Are bushes overgrown? Bushes don't last forever. So if you have a bush in front of your house that blocks the windows, those gotta come down. Replace them with something smaller that's gonna mature for the next buyer. So then when you're standing at your front door, are all the exterior lights on? And stand at your front door and look around. Are there spider webs? Are there like all the yuckies that are there? That's what buyers do. When that realtor is fiddling with the lockbox and trying to get the lockbox open, all the buyer is doing is going like this. And if they see spider webs and wasp nests and mud tunnels, whatever they are, you gotta knock all those down. You want the very first impression to be fabulous. So look at your house, and if you spend some money on mulch and you spend some money on a spring or fall cleanup, and you paint your front door, I mean, that's such a huge thing. Front doors get tired. A lot of times they're beating in the sun, they look tired. So maybe you pay someone to paint your front door. How does your screen door look? You really need to be critical about how your house looks from the outside, because buyers are going to be critical, and these are all things you could do ahead of time. Another tip is, do you have address numerals on your house? There's so many times I'm driving around a neighborhood and I'm trying to find 275 and I can't find it because it's not on the mailbox, it's not on the curb, it's not on the house. So you need to go through and look and say, can you tell which house is mine besides what would be the for sale sign in the front yard? So that's the last tip, curb appeal boost. It is money well spent. So to recap, the top 3 things you should do before selling, we're going to declutter. Pre-pack everything. If it's smaller than a basketball, if you have a horizontal surface, kitchen countertops, top of the washing machine, clear it, clear it, clear it. Pre-pack it, decide if you're going to take it with you to the next house. Next, deep clean. Clean your house. Hire a service that's going to the grubby part inside of your washing machine. People look at that, so you really want it to be a really good deep clean. The extra tip was look at your paint. Paint gets tired, it looks seasonal after a couple of years, it looks tired. Then the last one, boost your curb appeal with some small finishes. Fresh mulch, get a spring or fall cleanup by a professional landscaper, look at your front door, clear the spider webs, clean your lights outside, that's a great tip. And your home, doing all these things will help your home sell for the most money. So if you found this helpful, like and subscribe, and then I will see you next week.